square hole.
Oh my God.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
The instrumentation really took us a level up. I heard it before once, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the mix is like,
The mix is
crazy good.
Really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like there's the little, is it guitar I'm hearing in the background? That little,
Yeah.
it's so pretty. No, it's really, really good.
Thanks.
It's pretty
Love
minimal too, which I think is like a pretty cool choice with this song because it's like it's making it very kind of vulnerable, right?
Yeah.
Which is like cool with this particular song because it's a vulnerable song,
Yeah.
and it's good to have headphones with proper like bass and stuff. Like we've only heard it on a phone so
Yeah.
far, so it's
And
like
computer,
that's
yeah.
the first
yeah.
time we've heard this mix.
I'll play it on there later. It'll sound cool too because you'll hear it in a room, which is a
Yeah.
different experience.
Yeah.
That'll be cool.
Yeah.
And we got to do the car experience at some point, right?
Yeah.
The car test is the that's
yeah.
the key.
Well, then welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That sounded great.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
I'm really glad you liked it.
Yeah, I remember hearing it before, and it was really pretty. But the mix this time like made my eyebrows raise. I heard it, and I was like, "Whoa, that's really, really pretty." It was awesome. So it's called Fish Astronaut.
Yeah.
What was inspiration behind it?
So
Is there like a particular story or experience that influenced?
for sure.
Yeah.
And actually, I don't think I've ever written a song that like came out of a fight.
Yeah.
Which was like kind of cool. I mean, I've definitely taken songs, like I've written songs based off of bad situations before. And, like it's always nice to take a bad situation and make something nice out of it, like
Sure.
you get to create something. But basically, Alec and I had a fight where we had been at a party and I had been sort of like boisterous and loud and annoying. And we left and I thought, oh God, we had such a great time, like everybody loved me, like I rock. And Alec was like, that fucking sucked. Not really. Like,
Well.
I mean, you just were not pleased.
Yeah.
I had been like being really competitive and annoying, but what it turned out, what were you actually mad about?
Well, I was really just like, we had been kind of like living in Ohio and feeling like, you were trying to find your way in Ohio. And we go to this party with all of like these people that I thought were like cool people in Ohio. And like, they're all musicians
I
and
think
stuff.
they're cool too.
No, I know. But like, and then you kind of were just like telling them all these stories about LA and like how you can't wait to go back to LA soon. And it was just like, it was
I
like
talked about LA the whole
pretty
time.
much
I
the whole
realized.
time. Yeah.
That's distracting a little bit.
Yeah.
Just the skosh.
And it's like, it was kind of like the realization for me. It's like, okay, I don't know that I can really bring Ohio up to LA standards,
Yeah.
which is fine. But, and that's why I was feeling a little bit more, it didn't come out that way that day.
Yeah.
Well, because it wasn't fine. That's not fine.
At the
That's a
time.
legit feeling.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't ignore that feeling. I know what I get it.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
Yeah. But, it's like, and we had been kind of struggling with that for a long time. So just to see it like kind of in that light where it was like sort of defeated wasn't like, it shouldn't have been a fight. It should have been a conversation, but like, it's just so hard to deal with those emotions when they're coming up,
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And for the record, I wasn't just like name dropping and being like,
No.
I've met
Yeah.
Ben
Heather-
Shani.
Ben
I
Shani,
know Ben
yes.
Shani.
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
LA,
Start there.
and
No.
I'm pretty cool.
No, you were delightful. And obviously nobody said anything. It was me. It was just all internal fight for me being like, okay, well, we need to do something about this.
Yeah.
So having said that, can you both either together in your own way walk us through like the songwriting process for Fish Astronaut?
Me first.
You first.
Well, I mean,
All right, maybe I'm
you first because you really started it.
Well, okay, so how did the collaboration process come? Like how did that sync up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think I started writing lyrics about the experience of being in Ohio and feeling like I don't belong here. And feeling like, and we went on a walk and I remember saying like, I feel like, a fish out of water. And then what did you say?
I was like, you're so far out of water here. You're like in outer space.
And then I was like a fish astronaut.
Oh, come on. Is that really how it
That's
happened?
actually, like we were walking crouton.
Yeah.
So you made the name of the song in like 14 seconds.
That was the first thing.
Yeah.
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 That's amazing.
And then, so I was just playing with the lyrics and just how I felt like I just stuck out so intensely there. And like a sore thumb, right? But then I was like, well, like a necrotized thumb, because it's like so sticking out that it's decomposing and it's gross and it's obvious. But that's also, I work for a medical journal, so I love all that gruesome medical jargon. But yeah, so I just started playing with lyrics about that, and also just like how that night went and how it was like, I was competitive and annoying, and like, what's the point of that? And, nobody wins. And we're not winning by just like staying here. At least I didn't feel like I was. But yeah, those are some of the lyrics. Like,
So what roles did you guys play in creating the song? Like, what was he thinking of words too? Was it mostly he's bringing like melodies and then you kind of heard lyrics through that, or how did that come to be?
so I wrote the lyrics, and while I was writing the lyrics, you started working on chords.
Yeah. I mean, so you had the lyrics, but you didn't have a melody yet.
Right.
Like you had a kind of like a poem at the time.
Yeah.
And I started playing the beginning of that song because I was just messing around on the piano, and she thought it was really nice. And so we kind of just went with it. And I actually remember the first time we sang it, and we could never do it again, but like you had done this thing like rhythmically that was like really unsettling. Like do you remember that, where you were like just a little off the beat, like it was kind of swung.
Oh yeah, I do kind of remember that.
And we could never do it like for performance, because it's like so hard to like lock in,
like recreate it.
You're like locked in kind of off grid a little bit, but perfectly. And I don't know how you did it that time, but like I was like, oh my gosh, this is really gonna be something.
Yeah. Well, now it sucks. No.
No. I actually think it's better now, but like at the time I was like, whoa, I feel like really uneasy. And that's the feeling that I chased with writing the rest of the song, was like, how can I make someone feel super uneasy, but while I'm doing everything to make them feel at home, but they still feel like super weird,
And I did feel at home in Ohio with you. But
Exactly.
I also felt super weird.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's very symbolic.
Did you guys ever like, 'cause I can imagine like, cause you're working a lot, you're both working a lot.
Yeah.
Was there ever times when you were just sitting around and like the song would hit you at different parts of the day when you're not together, and you would just like think of new ideas, or was it just only when you're sitting down together and doing it?
Yeah, no, I mean, he'd be upstairs and he had recorded like the chords for me. So I'd be downstairs like trying to work, but sometimes I'd just put those chords on and I'd be like, how can I make this melody? And, I'd be singing along to it and stuff. So yeah, we worked on it separately, but together. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I think that song, for me at least, kind of came out. It wasn't like first take, but like it poured out pretty quickly for both of us. I mean, what you heard there, like minus, if you just played the piano and the vocals of that song, it's pretty much the same as when we wrote it. Like when we were like, this is a finished song, which was only a few weeks after you had finished the lyrics. That hasn't changed at all.
Oh,
I don't
no,
think.
nothing. Yeah.
So,
Wow. Do you think it's easier to write emotionally charged music? Like when it's coming from life experience, or
Oh my
like
God.
making up something that you might feel someone else is going through,
Oh, I very rarely am able to make up something that somebody else is going through. And like when I do that, I like them way less usually. It's
Well,
just-
you've always written from a place of experience.
Yeah.
Like something you're going through or whatever it is, you've always written from that place, which makes it so potent.
yeah.
Yeah.
Even when it's sort of like just a passing feeling, even, doesn't have to be super real, but there has to be something real about it. Like that new song Toxic. Have you met Toxic before? Like maybe I'm not quite a toxic person, but sometimes I feel like I am,
Me too.
We all do.
I'm disgusting. It's terrible. Well, it was one of the questions I actually wanted to, for those at home, I have a list of questions that I wanted to get through. So I'm going to just read it for a second. Do you find that hearing or performing the song brings back up some of those feelings? Like when you're performing it, do you feel like they hit you, they get that butterfly gut feeling that's like the bad butterfly, like those feelings? Does it ever come back to you?
Yeah, but I don't know if it's like, I don't know if I experience it in the exact same way, but I definitely like my mind goes right there and I'm like visually just there. I'm sitting in that car when we had the fight, I'm sitting in Ohio being depressed. I'm feeling all that stuff again. And I don't know, like it's good to remember what it's like to be sad so you can remember how happy you are in LA for instance, And I think it's songs are amazing that way because they can just really bring you right back to a place in time. Like they're time machines.
Yeah, I definitely feel that with that song. When we're performing that song, I definitely like go back to, laying in bed and just talking about like, how are we gonna figure this out? Like, this is not gonna work. Like, just and feeling like overwhelmed at the time, but like, partially optimistic because it's like, okay, we know that we have like the basis of what we need. We just need to figure out like the outside part.
Yeah.
Like this inside part is great. Let's just work on the outside.
Does this song make me sound like the biggest piece of shit
No,
ever?
No, what are you talking about? Why would you say
I
that?
hate my life and I live in a nice house.
No.
God, no.
Okay.
No.
Thank you.
For those at home, we're hit the AC because our boobs are sweating. So I don't care how loud
I don't
it
really
is.
hear it.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's in the back. It's okay. It's in the background. I think it's so cool. You guys, like, what an anomaly to have you both can like write together and be together. Like, that's such I feel like a rare thing. There's always like one of the two that's always busy writing music or on tour or whatever. And the fact that you can both do it together and perform together, it's really fun to watch. It's very sweet. I'm like hyper jealous of that. It's awesome.
you.
Yeah, we're really lucky.
So nice. I think what's really nice about that is that she is so gifted lyrically, and I really care a lot about music. Like, we always joke that like we listen to a new song that we both like, and she's like sitting there analyzing the lyrics, and I'm like learning the chords.
Yeah.
And like we go off into like our own little worlds to like appreciate music, and then we can. What's nice is that those two things, when they come together, like actually, create some really great music.
Well, you said that she's talented at writing the lyrics, but you said you really enjoy you didn't give yourself enough credit. You're a talented piano player.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah,
You really
insane.
How did you learn piano? What was your go-to for that?
Well, so I in like right outside of college, like 2 years out of college, I just got really obsessed with musical theory. Like, I couldn't get enough. And I was watching all sorts of YouTube videos. Like, at the time, like Jacob Collier was becoming really big, and like Adam Neely, and those guys were like, putting out these little like fun to consume content about musical theory, and I just like would take whatever term they talked about and just like go dive in. Like I was constantly learning. But like, and that's how I learned piano, because right, like most of the ways that people teach musical theory is through piano. So I was just like, okay, I have to learn this thing because that's just what I have now. I have a musical like training before. I was playing violin and guitar, but I never really cared about musical theory. So like learning the piano was like a totally different experience for me. But yeah, I still I don't have quite the like hunger for it that I did, but I definitely like I still have that sort of like drive in me to like just know what it is exactly that I like about something musical.
Do you feel that you got to a certain place with learning piano that you kind of got a little bit like not satisfied, but like you kind of took your foot off the gas a little bit because you got to a place you can do most things?
Maybe I don't know if it's even that. It's just like life starts to happen and you get interested in other things. It's hard to like keep. I mean, I was pretty obsessed, so it's hard to keep that level.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe a little bit.
And you and your whole family, I mean, your mom is like incredibly, like, so was that your brother too? Like you grew up on stage with your brother, right? You toured with him and like were always on stage and learning. Like, what was your...
Yeah, I mean, my brother taught me how to play guitar when I was little. So basically, he taught me how to be a rhythm guitarist so he could like solo over me. And
brilliant.
Also, like I played like stand-up bass in the orchestra at school,
cool.
and Alec and I were in the same orchestra in middle school.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, he was first violin and I was first bass.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because I was the only bass.
Yeah.
Until after you left, then two basses came.
Yeah,
but
you showed him how cool it was.
Well, yeah. Well, people just thought it was an easy instrument because it's big. Idiots.
Idiots.
But yeah, that's actually like how we met. Was in 7th grade.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So what do you guys have going on? Anything new coming out? What are you excited about? What are you working on?
Well, we just wrote a song about our dog.
Crouton.
Did come out very good.
It did come
yeah.
out very good. It's what is it called?
Crouton. The Crouton song.
The Crouton song.
The Crouton song.
I don't think it needs
so good.
Great name.
God, people are gonna flip over this.
But seriously,
it's a hit. It's a goddamn hit.
Your album might
sorry.
be...
Oh, a little bit more on the money, topic-wise.
But back to Crouton.
Back to Crouton. Crouton's forever important.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah, we're gonna probably. Well, so on my second album that's already out, Everyday Existential Crisis, Alec and I also wrote a song on that.
Correct.
Called Heart on Fire. And sorry to get off track, but I just want to mention this song too because he made this song so incredible. So we co-wrote that, and it was just when we were dating, and it was like all the butterflies are in this song, and it's about like taking a chance on love and like rolling the dice basically, and not like realizing you met somebody who lived down the street from you your whole life, and you're just meeting them for the first time. And he wrote these really cool jazzy chords and sent them to me.
Yeah.
To woo me, obviously.
100%.
As well you should have.
I'm not even gonna lie about that.
And no,
It's
you should,
100%.
and you can't because I would know, I see right through it.
Yeah.
And then those lyrics just like completely poured out of me, which was really cool. And that melody's so fun.
I remember I sent it to you, and like we were still like kind of. I didn't really know. I was just like, hey, she might be impressed by this, and she had lyrics written and had posted something about it that night. And I was like, I could have re-recorded this. Like I could have made it so much better. It was like that night. I didn't even. It was crazy how fast you wrote that song.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, it was cool.
What's the best and worst part about making music together?
Well, sometimes we fight about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Creative
like
differences.
like the way it should go, the progressions or whatever
Like the
else.
other day when I was totally right about that thing.
Totally right.
When
Oh,
we
she
were-
prefaced it. That's great.
when we were playing that cover of "So This Is Love."
She won. She was right, and it was better. It was better for it. But like that's the best part, right? At the end of it, it's like you have to set your ego aside, and it's helpful to do that in a relationship anyway.
Sure.
Is to be able to set your ego aside and be like, okay, you were right. You know, like I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, I shouldn't have been so crazy about this thing, and that happens. Like it's a really great metaphor in relationships, like for just understanding when you're wrong.
Happy wife, happy.
Well, happy either. I mean, she does the same thing. Like with music, like if it's something that's actually beneficial to the song, she's like totally down to whatever I thought it was. Go.
Yeah.
Very good at that.
And I mean, like, because we approach things from such a different perspective, because he's all like theoried up, like
All theoried up as like an insult almost.
No, in a really good way. I love it.
No. I mean,
He's all theoried up.
yeah, but like I think at the end of the day, we both understand. Like, okay, theory, no theory. The song needs to sound good
Yeah.
to both of us.
But like, I think you like know how to make it sound good better than I do a lot of the time.
I don't know.
And I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I just think that the juxtaposition of like where we come from makes the song better.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice to people at home that are trying to start writing and like any just initial startup tips to just start writing and start creating and start collaborating and just to start? Because most will play in the living rooms and never like show anybody. Like what's to like start sharing and getting it out.
Yeah, I mean, I think like it's like self-doubt is like the biggest creative block, and
Totally.
I mean, just you got to make yourself be okay with sharing things with other people. I mean, you don't have to share it online immediately, but just make the thing. Who cares if it's bad? Just show someone, right?
Yeah.
And
For sure.
You taught yourself how to play piano. Like people can do it. I mean, not everybody's a genius like
They're
him.
not.
Like,
Yeah, it's honestly really annoying.
It's-
He's so
kills
smart.
me. I could never do it
But-
in a million years.
No, just share
Awesome.
it. Yeah. I mean, somebody might love it.
Yeah.
Like share it however you can and find people that you can collaborate with.
The chances are if you're playing something and you're enjoying it, someone else will too.
100%.
There's a
Yes.
market for everybody,
Oh
right?
my God,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
And even if not, like for me, sometimes when I'm about to post something, I'm like, maybe I should make that a little bit better. And sometimes it drives you to make polish it a little bit more and teaches you things. It always teaches you things.
It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Just keep doing it.
Where can we find you guys? Where can we look you up?
I'm at alecdaniels.music and you are.
At Madeline Rosene.
Amazing. Thank you, folks.
Thank you.
Happy trails. Whatever that means.